Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to build something very super useful. A PDF question answer system powered by RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. But what is RAG? It is actually a smart way to combine two things, retrieval and generation. Retrieval, the finding the most relevant parts of a document. And generation means using an AI model like GPT to generate a natural answer based on those parts. And here where it gets interesting. Instead of training a large model from scratch, we will let the model to read your PDFs and on those fly and give you the direct answer based on what you ask from the inside. So let's quickly show you how it actually works. Let me show you the flowchart. So we start with a PDF document from which we will extract the text. Then, when a user asks a question, we search the most relevant chunks from that text. Those chunks are sent to the model to generate a precise answer. And then we will get to display the answer on the screen. So you can see that the whole diagram over here. Okay, so you can understand that what I actually want to say. And this approach is very lightweight and scalable and very smart. You can use it to build bots, assistants, or just automate coding documents to read. So in this tutorial, I will walk you through each steps, reading and splitting PDF text, finding relevant chunks, connecting to a language model, and finally getting and displaying the final answer. So let us start and building your own AI PDF question answer tool from scratch.
So now what we have to do, just we have to make a util.py file where we have to means perform some various operations for the PDF file because we have to extract the text, then we have to just convert the text into chunks and some other operations. So for that we have to create a util.py file. So let's just create utils.py. Okay. So we have you can see that we have already moved here. Now our first step is to import the library. So the library which we will be importing is known as PyPDF2. So let us just import. So you can see that we got the solution and we have imported it. Now our next step is to extract the text from the PDF. Okay, so let's give a function extract text from PDF. Okay, so we have written this function, and in this function we will just pass our PDF path. So let's just write the PDF path. So over here you can see that we have writing this like this because we will be calling this from another Python file that will be done after this file. Okay, that is known as app.py. We will just we will just connecting this path from there to there, so we will be giving the actual path over there and we will be calling this from that side. Okay, so for now we will just write like this and we will just write the function properly. So first of all we need to open it in binary mode, so let's just write the code for it. So with open we will be opening PDF path means the PDF, so we will write the path and we will just write RB. So what we will do, it will just open the PDF. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to initialize a reader. That will be a PDF reader. So just initialize that PDF reader. So we are writing reader equals to PDF dot PDF reader. Okay, over here F. We have done with this part. Now we have to do text equals to like this. We will just keep it like this. I will explain why we require this. And our next step is we will be going through each pages. So we will be using a loop. Okay, for the loop, we will use the for loop for page in reader dot pages. Okay, done. And now what we will do, we will be adding the page text. What we will do, adding the page text. So for that, we will write text plus equals to, because we will be saving that in text only. So we are using this thing. If you know very well Python, then you will understand why I have written the plus equals to. Okay, so it's better to write like that. Page dot extract text. This function, what it will do, it will just add the pages from the page to the text. Okay, and we will just write this one, just plus symbol. Okay, sorry, and we will just give a new line. Okay, so this part is done. Now we have to return. Okay, what we will return, we will return the full extracted text. So let's just return full extracted text, means only the text. So there is a typo error by me, so you can see that. So what we have done, we have added the page text. Now we are doing it. What? We are returning it. Done. So the first step, where we have extracted the PDF, means text from the PDF, is done over here. Okay. So now our next step is very small, but it is very essential. What we will do, we will just splitting the text into the chunks. So we have to create a function where we will just pass the text, means this text, and we will just take a chunk size, means the default chunk size, that will be 500, which I will give. You can give it more or less according to your project, but for now we will be giving it as a 500. So let's just make that. So we will be passing chunk size. Okay. Okay, by the time I have again done a typo error, so let's just remember the chunk spelling, chunk. Okay, uh, okay. Now what we will do, we will just return the text into uh, chunks. So what we will do, we will just write the return, and then I will give the square bracket and write the text, because we need the text to be returned. And inside again square bracket, I will write I plus chunk size. Okay, and then over here we will just write for, means our loop in range 0 line text. Okay, then we will just give the size chunk size. Done. Our part is done. So this is what actually doing. It's actually cutting text into cat. Oh, sorry, characters, chunks. Okay, chunks, not chunk size. Okay, so this is the thing. And so over here, our third step, that was splitting the text, it is already done. Now what we have to do, we have to reveal the score using the Gemini. And why we need to reveal the score using Gemini? Because we have to match it, right? If it is if the question is there, and if some question is already present, means the answer is, or the data is already present in the PDF, so you have to match. So what we will match, we will be matching the chunks by the chunk. So we need the chunk score. If the chunk score is less than, then it will be just continue and say that nothing available or error. And if it is found, means by the using the score, then it will just give you the answer from that PDF. Okay, so for that we need this finding relevant score function. So let's just give the name function find relevant chunks. So let's just write find relevant, sorry, again I have done a mistake, chunk. Okay, and over here what we will do, we will just pass something. So what we will pass, we will be pass four things: chunks, questions, models, and top k equals to 3. So all these things we will be requiring, and I will explain this a later, few bit later, that why we require this. Okay, so over here we are passing chunks and questions, then model, and then top k equals to 3. Okay, so our next part, what we will do, we will just have to store the score and the chunk in a same list. So we have to create a list. So we will just name the list as score chunks, scored chunk. Okay, we have created this list. For now, what we will do, we will just make a loop. Okay, loop chunk in chunks. Okay. So why we require this loop? Because we have to give the prompt, right? We have to give the prompt to the transformer which we are using. So I don't have told you about the transformer. Okay, we are using the transformer from the Hugging Face, the bird transformer. So for that we require this, and this thing what it will do over here, it will actually giving the prompt to this transformer to rate these chunks relevance to the question. So what we will do, we will just write like prompt, okay, and f, then we will just give this, and we will write some text. That's I will just copy paste down from my notebook, because I don't want to write like that. It's take many time. Okay, now you can see that I have already written this. Okay, it's nothing, just a prompt, and I'm just writing here the question equals to that questions and that context equals to the chunks. Okay, and the answer will be with a number of 1 to 10, nothing more than that. Okay, now what actually does over here is this transformer is expected to respond with just a number of 1 to 10. And now what we will do is we will use a try and catch method, or you can say the try and exception method, to send the prompt to the transformer to get the relevance score. To what? To get the relevance score, because this score is very important. I told you earlier that we will be just judging through the score. So let's just use the try, and what we will do, we will just take the response. So we have to write like this: response equals to model dot generate content, sorry, generate content from. Okay, I think there is an error again. I have done, okay, over here I have written this error. Okay, now it's right. So over here we are sending the prompt to get the relevance score, and now we will just remove the white spaces from there. Okay, so score text equals to response dot text dot strip. Okay, so we have successfully stripped that white spaces. Now we will just take the score text and convert it into integer. So what we will do, we will just take the score over here as simple, and we will just simply convert it into integer. Score text. This one. Done. Okay. So we have successfully means converted into a teacher. Now what we will do, we will just take this and we will save the score and chunks. For that, we will just use this code chunks dot append chunk. Okay. So here we have done the main thing. So let's just check the code once. So you can see that we are saving this all over here. And now there is the main thing that's left behind. That is, we have to write the exception over here. So let's just write the exception. Okay. So what will be the exception? The exception is if this is not done, means nothing is there. If the score is fails, then what it will do? It will just skip the score fails. Means if it will continue, if it will just skip, it will not just ignore. It will just ignore the whole line of code. We don't require that. So we will just write the continue. Okay. So this step is done. Now what we have to do, that we have to just sort them into the descending order. Why we need this to descending order? Because we actually have to return the top key in the most relevant. So we have to sort them, right? So let's just write that code. Okay. So we need to use this uh, code chunks. Okay. Dot sort short, and we will just write reverse equals to true. Okay. And key equals to lambda. Okay, lambda. Now x, and here what we will do, we will just give it 0. Okay, for that. Okay, there is an error. Now we have to fix this error. Why this is error? Okay, there is an indentation. So we will just do like this, and we will just return it chunk for score chunk in score chunks, and we will return the top k. So top underscore k. Okay. So this part is done, and it's done very well, and we do not need something else to be bothered over here. Okay, now what we will do, we will just make a new file, and that will be our main file app.py, where we will be just giving the commands. Okay, so let's just uh, write the code over here. So over here, first we need to import some functions that we have written from this util file. So let's just import that. So for that we have to just write utils, okay, and import. And if you just write like e, that you can get that all the functions you have written in that file, means in that util stuff file. Okay, so you can see that I am importing this one by one. Okay. So after doing this, we have to import our transformer. Okay, transformer pipeline. Okay, so we are actually importing this. Okay, transformer. So this is actually Hugging Face question answer transformer. So uh, you can use this. It is actually very good, right? And now our main part, which we will be doing, that after after importing this, means we have already imported, now we have to do is load the question answer pipeline, means we have to load the transformer. So for that, what we will do, just we will just do like this. Okay, just we have to load this pipeline pi, and we will just give a first bracket and write our question. Okay, like this. And then just we will just write a model equals to, and so we will just write this as we need, just write like this. Okay, so we have to write this one. Okay, the bird large uncased whole word making fine-tuned score. So this will be our pre-trained bird question answer transformer. Okay, so this part is done, where we have actually loaded the QA pipeline. Now what we will do, we will just come down and we will just write the code to read and split the PDF. Okay. For that, first of all, I have told you that we are passing this uh, PDF path from this app.py. So we will be just writing that first. So let's just write PDF path equals to. So our PDF is over in this file. Okay, it's in this folder. So we will just give the path PDF s, there is a slash, and test.pdf. Okay, this is the thing. Now what we will do, we will come in the next line and we will just extract all the text from the PDF. So let's just write text equals to extract text from PDF. So you can remember this. This is actually from this util file over here. So we will just pass that PDF path, PDF path. Okay, PDF path. So now what we will do, we will just also write the split one. Okay, we have used this split function also. So we will just pass that chunk equals to split text, and we will also pass the text. So we are passing the text, means whole extracted data or the text in form of text. So we are passing this into this split text. Now what it will do, it will just return all the chunks, and that chunks will be over in this one, that in the chunks variable. Okay, so let us come down and just print a message, and the message is PDF processed successfully. Okay, so we have written the message so that we can understand that the PDF is processed successfully, or else we will be wondering that what happened over here. Okay, so after this part, we have to just write some functions. So what actually that functions do? The function will reveal the keywords using overlap. Okay, I told you that we have to just check the score over there. Then we have to decide that which chunks is actually common to the question. If the chunks is having some similarities, or there is the chunks we need, means the answer we need from that PDF, then it will just give you the answer, else it will just ignore you. So the implementation will be done over here. So we have to make a function where we will just find the best chunks. Okay, only the best chunks, which will be most relevant chunks, which we will be required for that. So we have to create that function. So write a function known as find best chunk. And what we will do, we will be just pass the chunks and the questions, because we need to use these two. Okay, so let's just pass this and questions, or you can say the question only. So we are passing this to, okay, over here. And now what we will do is we will just write not write, we will just break the question into words. Okay, so let's just write that question words equals to set question dot lower function. Okay, over here, and we will also write the split function. Okay, over here. Okay, now what we will do, we will just hold the most prevalent chunk, where in the best chunk, just we will have to create that variable. Okay, so best chunk, or you can say chunk. Okay, we will be just keeping it like that. Now we'll again create a next, where we will store the word overlap score. Okay, so we will just write the max overlap equals to 0 as default over here. Okay. Now this part is done over here. Now what we have to do, we have to just check the each chunks, and then we have to convert it into the word set. And after converting into the word set, we have to count the shared words. Okay, if the more relevant than the before, means the uh, present chunk is more relevant than the past one, then okay, it will be just giving you the answer. Means if the score is high, then it will just give you the answer, and if it no, doesn't, then it will just return you some error. Okay, or it will just give you an error. So we have to write that one. So just like you have to give a for loop for chunk in chunks, chunk in chunks. Okay, over here, what we will do, we will just write the converting the chunk into word set. So let's just write that chunk word, sorry, that is words, and we will just write the set dot chunk set dot chunk dot lower uh, dot split. Okay. Oh, there is an error. Okay, we don't have to give this dot. That is my error, typo error. Now, what we will do, we will just use this overlap. Okay, so overlap equals to length of the question. Okay, so over here, what we are doing actually, we are actually counting, sorry, counting the shared words. Okay, now what we will do, we will just check if the overlap is greater than the max overlap, means if it is more relevant than the before. Okay, so we will just write if overlap is greater than max overlap. If it is, then what we will do, we will just load the max overlap equals to overlap and best chunk equals to chunk. Okay, and it will just like this. And now what we will have to do, we will just have to return. Okay, so we'll just go over here and return the best chunk. If best else what we will do, chunk else. Okay, so we have done this part, and here what is actually doing, it is actually returning the uh, fallback chunk, only the best or the fallback chunk, you can say it. Okay, so over here I have made some mistake. Just let me just find out the mistake where I have done. Okay, over here a simple mistake is that like this, it will be like this. Okay, okay, so over here we have to make a code block where we will just keep the codes where a loop will be running, and in there we will just giving you the question and answers. Okay, until and unless we type exit. If we type exit, then the whole code will be breaking and it will just stop. Okay, so for that we will just give a loop. Okay, so this time we will be using while loop. So just we will make the while true, so that it will make it a infinite loop, same kind of infinite loop. Okay, so over here what we will do, we will just write the query and write the input. Okay, so I will just write ask a question or exit. Okay, so if we write this exit over here, so our intention is if we write this exit or type this, then uh, our code will be stopped. Means our program will be stopped, not the code actually. Okay, so it is actually for giving the hint to the user. So now if query dot lower function equals to exit, then what we will do, we'll just break. We'll just use break. So you can understand why I have written this. And now if it doesn't, if it doesn't break, means if it doesn't need to break, if doesn't user doesn't type the break, then what we will do, we'll just retrieve the most relevant chunks. Means uh, like you have got the answers, right? If we don't want to, then what we have to do is just retrieve the answer, means chunks for the further question. So over here, what we will do is, if we don't type exit, so we have to retrieve the most relevant chunks using that rack steps. Okay, so context equals to find best chunk, and we will just pass the chunk and the queries. Now, what we have to do, we will just use this try method, and we have to take the response. We will just use our pipeline. Okay, there's a typo error. Okay, now what we will do, we will just pass our question query. Okay, and over here we will just pass the context equal to context. Okay, done over here. So what is actually doing, it is actually asking but as a question answer. Okay, pipeline. Now we will just print over here the answer. Okay, so for that, like, we have to create a new line, and then I will write AI, because our AI will speak, not me. You will just write this, and we will just print the response. Okay, response like this, and the answer. instead of now strip. Okay, so over here, uh, let's just copy paste it down because I have typo error maybe. Oh no, there's no typo error. Okay, done. Now we have to write the exception part. So if this doesn't give the answer, then there will be certain exceptions, means certain errors. So we have to handle those. So we will write this exception as E. E means error. Okay. Now we will just print the error. Okay. Star E. Okay. Done. Our code is done. Now what we have to do, we will just have to uh, fix this. Okay, now what we will do, we will just uh, run the code, and we have successfully implemented the RAG system, okay, and other we have successfully loaded the PDF, then we have extracted the text from the PDF, then split it, then find the most relevant chunks. These are the all. Now let us just run this and just check it whether it will run or not. Okay. Okay, you can see that it is now successfully running, but in between there is some error, okay, which I have fixed over here. So the errors are very common. Just check it once and just fix it. I will tell you. So first of all, make this a PDF reader, not the other thing. Okay, I have just selected the wrong function. So just take this, and over here you will see that I have written test at the first time. So just make it that text. It will be text. For it is not the test. Okay, it will be text. text. Okay. If you do this, then you will see that all the errors are gone, and then come to this file and just come over here and just run this Python file. Remember, you have to run this one. Okay, then you will see that over here you will get like this. So let's just ask it who created the Python. Over here you can see that answer is giving that Python is created by Girodo Van Rossum. So next asks the another question that when it is released. So when the uh, Python is released. Okay. So it is successfully giving you the answer from here. So we have successfully created a program where we have implemented the RAG system from which a PDF file is given as a sample. From there, if you ask some question, the model will just extract the text from there. Then it will just convert it into chunk, and it will just find the similarities between your question and the chunks. And if you get it, then he will just answer you from